We need you. We're going to need you on Thursday when we go up against number 7 LSU.
That was Coach Yo encouraging the fans to show up, and they absolutely did. And even Stephen A. Smith was in the building as LSU took on Ole Miss at Ole Miss. Ole Miss looked really, really good early on, but this was the game changer. Grace Knox was assessed a technical, crashed out a little bit on this block against Cody McMahon. She was kind of saying, hey, I can't hear you, fans. I can't hear you. But this was a 6-point swing for Ole Miss, but ultimately it did change the game for LSU. They get some energy. It was led, of course, by Big Foe Flau'jae Johnson, who had a lot to kind of get together because her mom has been stirring up a whole bunch of controversy. So Flau'jae had to shut people up a little bit. Malaysia Fulwale had a really good game, and Ole Miss could not score in the fourth quarter. No field goal in the fourth quarter as LSU gets the job done against Ole Miss.
With the 3 losses in a row, just what kind of a response are you looking for in these last 3 games, with the 2 games on the road, playing these tough opponents? What are you looking for out of your team?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we need to get back to looking like we looked 5 days ago. Thought we looked okay when we played Texas. Thought we looked like a Final Four team when we played Texas. That's the same kids, the same team. It's 5 days ago. I don't know if it actually was 5 days ago, but it was not very long ago. So let's put our finger on that. Let's get back to that. Let's get back to the version of us that was when we played Missouri. Like, same kids, the version of us when we played Kentucky. Let's just get back to who we were.
And Tennessee, yeah, they struggled big time yesterday against Texas A&M, a team that is really at the bottom of the SEC, and that's because when you get past Tennessee's press, it's pretty winnable to take down their defense, especially transition defense. Tennessee struggled severely, though we got to give a shout out to Janiah Barker. I thought Janiah Barker was really, really good in this game for Tennessee. However, defensively, they couldn't really do anything to stop Texas A&M, especially early on in the game, and they did try to make a comeback, but it wasn't enough. Tennessee loses to Texas A&M 82-74.
They trusted the process in January, and that's hard to do when you're not winning basketball games, but they understood that if they continue to come to work every day, put their hard hat on, get better, that we could make a run late, and so I think that has a lot to do with it.
In other games, we saw Duke get the job done against NC State. South Carolina takes down Alabama, and UCLA is still on top of the Big Ten. That and a whole lot more on today's episode of Quit in the Morning. Cue the intro.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Ready, set, go.
What is up, awesome people of the internet? Yeah, y'all, yesterday we saw a boatload of fantastic games. And guys, I gotta tell you, the SEC is always bringing gems. And yesterday we saw some fan-freaking-tastic gems. I kind of did like a quick recap, but yeah, let's go a little bit deeper now in this one. Here's the thing. Ole Miss versus LSU. I was very much looking forward to this. This was going to be a really fun matchup. Again, another opportunity to see truly what both teams are all about. We've seen, like, LSU is a really good team. They are. Like, even the losses they had this year they haven't lost by very much. They've been in the games even in their losses, and it was a question mark of, okay, after this South Carolina game that LSU had over last weekend, it was a question mark of, okay, well, what happens? Who steps up, right? Who does Kim Mulkey rely on? She talked about wanting to see more of Bella Hines because Bella Hines showed out in that South Carolina game, but it's a question mark of like, okay, well, are we going to run into another situation where LSU fails to, make free throws or like loses it down the stretch in a game that they have a chance of winning? What was Malaysia Fulwale going to look like, right? Remember, she didn't have a good game at all, really, against South Carolina. So the question is, okay, what's going on? Who's gonna make stuff happen? And in the first half, it's pretty neck and neck. And Ole Miss, their fans showed out, and definitely did give this team a little bit of a spark. And it was a question mark of, okay, well, who's going to get the job done in the third quarter? And it was LSU. Here's the deal, guys. Not an excuse, but I'm just saying. Ole Miss has played a bunch of games in a very small amount of time because of the changes, the weather incidences in Mississippi that caused them to have some of their games rescheduled. And they've been playing a bunch of games in a very small amount of time. Not an excuse, but just something to say. And it feels like as the game went on, especially in that third quarter, we started to see LSU really, really, really wear down Ole Miss to the point where we hit the fourth quarter and LSU was looking good, right? Flau'jae Johnson is playing really great. Like, it was a really, really good game for Flau'jae. Yes, Mylasia Fulwiley was doing her thing, absolutely. But in my opinion, the player of the game was Flau'jae. Flau'jae. What? Can I talk? Okay, was Flau'jae. And the reason why is because she stayed poised and played her game and was getting her teammates involved. There was a play that I really liked. It was a steal. LSU got a steal. Flau'jae had the basketball and had a fantastic in-stride pass to Mylasia Fulwiley for the layup. And to me, like, that was the game. And that was how they were able to, even though they were down for a little bit, they were able to get back in this one and ultimately cruise to victory. It was Flau'jae and her overall passing, her ability to take care of the basketball and make shots when she needed to, right? And it was Mylasia Fulwiley who was really good throughout the game, right? She gave some big minutes, and you saw more of the vision of what Mylasia Fulwiley could look like at her best in an LSU uniform. Like, that was really great to see. But who did Mylasia Fulwiley take minutes from? She took minutes from Michaela Williams. Michaela Williams just didn't have a good game. And as a result, she was benched. Did she even play in the second half? I can't even remember. She barely played in this game. Only 16 minutes in this one. She got benched. And to start off the second half, she was on the bench. We saw Mylasia Fulwiley get the start for the second half of the game, and that's all she wrote. Here's the thing. I don't have an issue with a coach deciding, you know what? Yeah, ride the bench. Ride the bench. I'm about to roll with somebody else. I actually like it. Because if a player isn't going to show up, hey, give somebody else an opportunity. And she did. And Mylasia Fulwiley, she showed up. Big time. We also saw a lineup that I actually didn't think would work, but it actually did. We saw Amaya Joyner and Kate Koval get a good amount of minutes together, and I thought defensively they look good. They look good. I have been on Kate Koval all season, really talking about how I really don't totally think that she's totally cut out for the SEC. But I thought she played well yesterday. I thought she gave some really good minutes, and again, just helped to both Kate and Amaya Joyner both helped to kind of wear down. They both kind of wore down Ole Miss, and again in the fourth quarter, Ole Miss zero field goals. 0. And they missed so many free throws. Ole Miss actually might have had a chance of winning the game if they made free throws. And so that's something to note. That is something to note. I will just say this, though. It really does feel like Ole Miss just ran out of gas in that fourth quarter. Like, it just feels like They were in it. They gave it all they had. The crowd was trying to lift them up, but at the end of the day, they just all the wear and tear over the last couple of days and the last couple of games for Ole Miss, it all just kind of gelled together, and we see the result, right? This is a team that has played on the 12th, on the 15th, on the 17th, yesterday on the 19th. They play on the 22nd. Like they got a lot of games for Ole Miss. And to me, I'm not putting too much on this loss for them. Now, make no mistake, LSU won this game. Make no mistake. But the horrible collapse of the fourth quarter, I put that towards fatigue and LSU just being ready to play. LSU being ready to play. So, I mean, hey, shout out Flage, shout out Michaela. I mean, not Michaela, Mylasia. Michaela didn't show up. Michaela did not show up at all. Did not show up. But I am very happy that so many Ole Miss fans showed up to the game. Coach Yo has been talking about this for a long time. Since she's really been at Ole Miss, she's talked about fan support and how they really need the fan support. And in the past when she said that, it didn't go over too well. But yeah, I do think that that the fans did show up. Stephen A. Smith was there. I was hoping for an upset. I think that would have been awesome. And hopefully it could have encouraged more fans to show up more. And it wasn't even packed, guys, but it was way more than normal. 7,000, a little bit over 7,000 fans attended yesterday's game, which is fantastic. And if you're an Ole Miss fan, if you live in Mississippi, go on to the games. Go support your team. Go support your team. Because fan support is huge, and it can make a lot of things happen for your team. Next up, about this game, I wanted to talk about, I kind of covered it a little bit. I have a question for you all. Is it fiery or is it a disaster? That's my question when it comes to Grace Knox. Here's the thing. I feel like I've been pretty consistent on this when it comes to like my commentary about players who allow their emotions to get the best of them. If your team is negatively affected by your emotions, I got a problem with it. Rein it in, get it together. But if it doesn't ultimately negatively affect your team, meaning you lose, then it's like, whatever, let the coach decide. And with Grace Knox, she was on one yesterday. And here's the thing. Grace Knox is an extremely expressive player. If you have watched LSU play this year and you've watched Grace Knox on the floor, watch her facial expressions. She is very, very expressive with her face and with her. Actually, we've seen her even when she gets fiery and her teammates and whatnot. She'll We've seen her get pretty fiery this year, right? And my question is it fiery or is it a disaster? Here's the deal. Grace Knox, the previous play, and I actually think this is why she had so much emotion. The previous play to the play we're about to talk about, the previous play, Grace Knox did get a block. She got a big time block, but then ultimately Ole Miss still scored. But she had a big time block in the previous play. She ends up coming back down. Cody McMahon looks like she's going to have a really easy layup. Grace Knox winds up, tries to go for the block, basically gets all arm for Cody McMahon. Cody McMahon, falls down hard. And Grace Knox, it wasn't just, the foul was regular. It was a regular foul. It wasn't a block. It was an attempt for a block, but she got all arm. So it's a foul. Not a flagrant foul, not an excessive foul. It's a foul. All right. And then after that, Grace Knox like, oh, she kind of flexes on him, and so she gets a technical for the flex, right? You know, she gets a technical for the flex, and that flex that Grace Knox did cost her team 6 points. All right, because it was a foul, and so free throws for that. And then also she got a tech for that. And Ole Miss kept the ball. So 3 free throws are made during that whole thing. Ole Miss got the ball back and knocked down a 3. And that foul with the tech led to a 6-point swing for Ole Miss. And the thing I thought was hilarious was during Cody McMahon's free throws, Grace was kind of like, "What? I don't hear you. What? Y'all ain't." and again, here's the deal. It's only not a terrible thing because LSU ultimately ended up winning. And actually, I credit this foul. I credit this foul for the foul and the expressiveness for the comeback for LSU. I actually do. So in this case, I mean, I think this was a little bit. This was fiery, not a disaster. Because after this, we end up seeing LSU go on a little bit of run, and we see, especially in the fourth quarter, Ole Miss struggle to make anything happen. So, in this case, it's fiery in this case. But I really do think that Ole Miss, if they had more of the legs under them, this might have been a different story. This might have been a different story. Players have emotion, play with emotion. That's great. But I could totally see LSU running into an issue with Grace Knox and her fieriness, because you don't want to be doing stuff like that in the SEC tournament. You don't want to be doing stuff like that in the NCAA tournament, because when you lose, you're out. This case, Grace Knox was punished by getting sat on the bench, and where she kind of rode from then on out. But at the end of the day, LSU does get the dub. So it's fine, but you got to be careful, because that can turn into a disaster if, Ole Miss was able to capitalize on that foul and the momentum of that foul. So I'm just saying, okay? I am just saying. But I do want to see what you all have to say about the situation. Do you think it's a disaster, or do you think it is a fiery player? Fiery player, no big deal. Let's move on. What are your thoughts about this situation? All right, let's see what you all have to say. Chicago Cheetah says, I thought the block was clean. I mean, she got her arm. It didn't look clean to me. She got her arm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought it was a foul. Also says, but that Rebels coach should have gotten a tech for like going to Well, Coach Yo was she was mad. Coach Yo was mad about that, and she started going on the court, and then one of the assistant coaches had to stop her. So yeah, I mean, I would I could have seen that. Yeah. Chantel says they kept the camera on Grace a little too long because they know she's gonna be expressive. It makes sense to me. Joy says, can't lie, I love Grace Knox. She's a bunch of energy. She is. She absolutely is a bunch of energy. And again, emotion's great until your team loses because of it. And so I think that's the thing. Ah, man. Don't forget, I am a LSU hater, according to this person. I tell you, y'all clearly make up a whole bunch of random stuff about me. All right. Jeff Blaze says, OMG, you wanted to upset Quita? Come on, man. Come on. I always want to upset. I always want an upset. And Jeff Blaze with the super chat says, problem is you brought the wrong jersey. Big foe, baby. Yeah. This was a t-shirt I bought at LSU. Michaela Williams. The reason why I didn't buy a Flau'jae shirt is because the Flau'jae, it was white. And I don't wear white shirts because white shirts get dirty. If Flau'jae actually had a black shirt at the NA All-Star, I would have bought it. But I feel like I may have jinxed Michaela Williams. Ever since I got this shirt, she played terrible in the South Carolina game. She was terrible yesterday. So maybe I need to burn the shirt for Michaela to have a good game. Oh my goodness. But yeah, man. Well, maybe y'all should be happy I didn't get a Flau'jae shirt, because otherwise Flau'jae would have been bad. I don't know. I think I gave a I think I jinxed Michaela. Of course I'm joking. I mean, jinxes aren't real, but anyway. K-Jack says, I think you did, Quita. That is hilarious. Nancy, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, self-control is a discipline she'll realize one day. Yep, for Grace Knox. Yep. Tisha says, Quita, they can't believe you went to South Carolina and LSU since you hate both teams. I am glad Big Fo is playing well. I bought her purple jersey and she signed it after the game. Oh, nice. That is awesome. That is awesome. That's awesome. That she was able to sign it. I tell you, I got to tell you, a lot of these players are they're willing to do whatever for the fans. And Flau'jae Johnson is definitely one of those players who is just like, she's for the people. You know what I'm saying? Like she gonna sign your autograph. She gonna hang out with the fans and make sure they feel like they appreciate it. I love that. It's just what these players, these new crops of players do. The old crop of players did the same thing, but like I feel like it's even more of a resurgence back to that. Okay. Chanel says, you ever spoke on the live situation about Big Fo Mom? No. I haven't, and I don't think I will. The most I will say is be careful what you say, because these coaches and scouts and WNBA teams are looking at it. They're looking at what you say and how you say it, and how often you talk and what you talk about definitely can give a WNBA team pause for signing you and drafting you high. So that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not one of those drama channels. I'm not gonna get into every single tidbit that she said about South Carolina and yada yada. I ain't doing all that. I think my channel is about basketball. We talk about basketball, and that's it. So the only thing I will say is what you say can affect the draft stock of your child. That's all I'm gonna say. It has in the past, right? And so that's all I'm gonna say. All right, I'm gonna let the drama channels talk about that. They'll have a field day talking about Flage and her mom. But it was a distraction, and Flage did need to show up because a lot of people were talking about it, and I was very pleased to see the game that she played yesterday. I thought she shut people up. Which was good. I mean, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do if you are a player like Flage, who is, possibly a lottery player. All right. Let's see. So Unknown says, yeah, don't talk about it. People be ready for others to talk about it so they can dogpile on Flage when she did nothing. I mean, here's the deal. I just think a lot of times people like the drama of women's basketball more than they like the basketball of women's basketball. That's all I'm going to say there. They enjoy the drama because the drama just brings a lot of attention. More than the actual basketball. So I'm going to be talking about basketball. And I'll talk about drama when it specifically relates to basketball, and I'm going to hop off that train real fast. All right? We doing basketball here. That's what we do here. All right, guys, let's move on and let's talk about the Lady Vols, because in a similar situation to Ole Miss, Tennessee has had a bunch of games in a short amount of time. They have, and when you're talking about Tennessee and we talk about what they did yesterday, yes, that is a lens you have to color in a little bit. All right, this is also a team that had to, they went against Ole Miss for that makeup game. And they've had a lot of games, right? They played on the 12th, they played on the 15th, they played on the 17th, they played yesterday on the 19th, they play again on the 22nd. Right? Exactly similar to Ole Miss. So that's something to note. But whereas Ole Miss lost to LSU, 7th ranked in the country, right? The same LSU team that is 4th in the SEC, right? A team that is very, very good. While Ole Miss lost to that team, and also lost barely. They lost because of the fourth quarter. They collapsed in the fourth quarter, and that's why they lost. Even though they have the same amount of games in the same amount of time for Tennessee and Ole Miss, I put more weight on Tennessee's loss than Ole Miss, because Ole Miss lost to, again, LSU, a very, very good team. A team that is better than them, really. Tennessee lost yesterday to Texas A&M. Texas A&M is 12th in the SEC. They're not very good. Though, I got to give Joni Taylor credit. Initially, earlier in the season, I would have said this lady is on the hot seat. She's on the hot seat for her job. There's a question mark about that. Like, she gotta get it together as the season goes on, because otherwise, she might be on her way out of Texas A&M. That was what I was thinking about Joni Taylor, the head coach of Texas A&M. That's what I was thinking. But as February has gone on, Texas A&M looks good. Now, are they like good to really compete in the SEC? Not really, but they look better than they did earlier this season. And yesterday, Texas A&M, 12th ranked in the SEC, took down Tennessee. And I got to tell you, watching this game, it's the same show. It's the same thing. When we talk about this Tennessee team, this is a team that once you pass their press, their half-court defense is severely suspect. Severely suspect. And it cost the Lady Vols yesterday. Because Texas A&M, especially in that first quarter, they were lighting it up, and throughout this game, they kind of lit it up from the three. 11 threes made for Texas A&M. That's not a normal thing for Texas A&M. They were able to score in transition. They were able to score in the half court, and yes, they were able to beat the press. Now, yes, they get turnovers. Absolutely. They got a significant amount of turnovers. I believe like 17 turnovers in this game for Texas A&M. But it was their ability to beat Tennessee's defense in the half court and in transition. And that's one of those things that Tennessee, they struggle with. They struggle. They have struggled when they've played teams that are not completely phased. They're not completely phased. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I think that's a thing. That's absolutely a thing. For Texas A&M, it was all about the threes. It was all about scoring in the paint. And they got the job done. That's all I gotta say. Sometimes you just gotta figure out a way to win, and that's exactly what the Aggies have done. This is a team that's on a little bit of a winning streak for Texas A&M, and they are led by Ny'Sierra Pryor. Like I thought she was really good yesterday. 10 assists. 22 points. She's great. Big time shots for Texas A&M. And ultimately, yes, at one point, Texas A&M was actually winning this game by 19 points. And as the fourth quarter went on, we saw Tennessee make a run. But it wasn't enough of a run to offset the disaster that the first and third quarter was for Tennessee. And ultimately, I believe Texas A&M gets their first ranked win since 2021, I believe, that the stat said. And they did it in Tennessee. So, yes, Tennessee has had a bunch of games in a short amount of time. Absolutely. Yes, that could be a reason for some fatigue. But to me, it does not excuse losing to a team like Texas A&M. It doesn't excuse that. It doesn't excuse that at all. So that's my thoughts there. That's my thoughts. Tennessee, they really do have to get it together. They really do have to get it together. Because Texas A&M right now is in a 3-way tie. They are tied with Missouri and Florida. They're all three of them are 4-9 in the SEC, right? And then under that, you got Auburn, and then you got Arkansas, who hasn't won a game at all in SEC play. This is a team that Tennessee lost to. So I put way more negativity on Tennessee's loss than Ole Miss's loss, because Ole Miss lost to a team that's better than them. Tennessee lost to a team that on paper is significantly worse than them. Though I do have to give a shout out to the Aggies, because the Aggies are on a bit of a winning streak of sorts, right? They beat Auburn, which doesn't say anything. But out of the last 4 games, Texas A&M has won 3 games. They beat Kentucky, which was crazy. And they beat Kentucky by a lot. Like they destroyed Kentucky. I mean, sorry, not Kentucky, Alabama. They beat Alabama by a lot. They lost to Kentucky, but they beat Alabama by a lot. They beat Alabama, they lost to Kentucky, they beat Auburn, and now they beat Tennessee. So maybe this saves Joni Taylor's job, and she's able to, make it another year with the Aggies and see what she could do, because that is hopeful. That's bringing some hope for the Aggies to again have a massive win against close game win against Alabama, to have a massive win against Auburn, and have a massive win against Tennessee. It's huge. That's absolutely huge. And so, yeah, man. But for Tennessee, they're losing the rest of their games in regular season. I don't see them winning the rest of the regular season. I don't see them winning. I do not. Also, if y'all could please make sure to hit that like button. It really does help the channel out a whole lot. Thank you. K-Jack says Kim's job is in the trash. I mean, she's definitely on the hot seat. If they, lose out the rest of the games this season, I don't think she gets fired. I don't think so. I think they'll give her another year, and see what she can do. But she's definitely on the hot seat. Mia Paldo did return back yesterday, though she was very rusty. So there's that. There is that. All right. Some of the other games that happened this week, well, yesterday, let's quickly do a SEC roundup of some of the games that happened yesterday. Yesterday we saw South Carolina take care of business against Bama. We saw Texas do their thing against Arkansas, again the worst team in the SEC. We saw Oklahoma take down Georgia in a very, very close game. Y'all, Georgia's giving everybody fits. Even though Georgia ended up losing in this game. They're just a really good team. They're a really good team. And a game to watch, guys. Game to watch is Texas versus Georgia on the 26th. All right, that's next week. Watch that game. It's going to be Danny Carnegie versus Madison Booker. That's a game to watch, okay? Texas versus Georgia on the 26th. All right? That's something to look forward to. We also saw Florida take down Mississippi State and Auburn take down Missouri. Some Big Ten games happened yesterday as well. We saw UCLA taking care of business against Washington, 82-67. We saw Iowa knock down Purdue, 83-74. We saw USC take down Wisconsin. No, full disclosure, I didn't watch this game in particular. However, I did see that Jazzy Davison got hurt or something in this one, so I gotta go back and watch it. I just saw like a comment about that, and so I was like, oh, let me mention it. But that game in particular, I did not exactly watch, so I don't know specifically what happened, but supposedly Jazzy Davidson got hurt in that one. We also saw Oregon take down Nebraska 80-76. So yeah, guys. So Unknown says, is the Texas versus Georgia game at Georgia? If so, it could be an upset. Is it? I can't remember, actually. No, it's at Texas. It's at Texas. Yep. It's at Texas. All right. Duke says, UConn smiling watching their competition get beat on every night. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Yes. I mean, she has been, but she got to show up. She has to show up. All right. But yeah, man, that's what happened. That is what happened, man. But yeah, anyway, that's that. Let's see what else you all have to say. Tiger for Life says Georgia lost by 20 against LSU at home. I mean, yeah. And if we look, like, Georgia is a team that, can lose by a lot at home, and also is a team that can take down Vandy. You know, is a team that can beat Kentucky. Right? Is a team that can beat Ole Miss. Georgia is again, they can get anybody in the SEC. They're a threat, is what I'm trying to say. They're a threat. And Texas better not take them too lightly, because if they do, Texas gonna get got. All right. Duke says, Quita, can you make a video later in the season about some of the incoming freshmen? Yes. Yeah. Can do. KRL says, on replay gang, so I'm behind. I don't feel like Grace did anything wrong. Caitlin Clark has done worse, but people call it passion. It's only because Grace is at LSU that people have a problem. I love her passion. Here's the thing. I say it's the same thing. Again, if it hurts your team and your team loses for it, it's a disaster. If your team ends up winning, it's passion. So it is what it is. To me, it only... I'm not hard on Grace Knox for her fieriness, because at the end of the day, LSU won. Now, if LSU lost, and if Ole Miss used that to fuel them, then maybe I'd be more, like, come on, Grace Knox. But because they won, and because she got promptly benched after that, it's not a big deal. But again, it can cost your team, which is why I always think it's important to mention that. Like, yes, it didn't cost y'all this time. And that's great. That's fantastic, actually. But be careful. Be careful. Because in a not so good time, you might do that, and it might cost your team. So I'm just saying. That is something to note. And like there is in general like a segment of the population that is very much like, it's only a problem when you do it, but when we do it, it's not a big deal. But when we do it, it's fun, it's fiery, it's passionate, it's all that stuff. But when you do it, it's bad because I don't like you. Me, I feel like I'm pretty standard on this. If it hurts your team or your team loses because of it, it's bad. If your team wins, I mean, it's up to the coach, but I chalk it up to, sure, it's fiery, but it can cost you at a not so good time. All right. Okay. All right. Well, thank y'all for watching. If y'all could, please make sure to hit that like button. Okay, come on, Rusty. Rusty saying Grace Knox needs to be benched for the rest of the season. She's dangerous and needs professional. Come on now. After that, come on now. Like even if you like count up all her times that she's been quote unquote fiery this season, come on now. Like she doesn't need to be benched the rest of the season. Like let's not over exaggerate things, okay? Let's not over exaggerate things. Let's just be normal, okay? Let's just be normal. All right? No need for dramatics. Like it's just like there's no need, okay? Grace Knox will be fine. Like I'm sure Kim Mulkey probably talked to her about like, hey, be careful about that. That can cost us. And it did cost us 6 points, but ultimately we won the game. So she don't need to be benched for the rest of the season. She don't. She's gonna be fine. She's gonna be fine. All right. But you just gotta be careful. That's all. Okay, well, I do want to thank y'all so much for watching. This has been another edition of Queen in the Morning. Guys, let me know what you all think about the intro stuff that I've been trying to do. I've been really trying to make sure that the show feels like a show. That it feels like a real show. And so let me know what your thoughts are about it. You like it, you dislike it. It takes me a while to do, but like, I don't know, I kind of like it. So anyway, thank y'all. It's Friday. Happy Friday. Y'all have a good one. Let today be a great day for you. And I will see y'all in the next one. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Are you ready?
Ready, set, go.